Okay, I'm going to go through the whole setup here. So we have a Netgain Industrial Controller with an interface module over here, hooked up on the CAN bus. We have an accelerator, which is the pull type throttle accelerator, over here, connected to cable on a cable to the controller. And then we have the wiring harness that's spread out to small bolts. I'm using as terminals. So we have, in order, we have black, we have white, we have yellow, we have blue, green, I can't read that one, purple, brown, and red. And this last one is gray. So that's how they're arranged. The blue is connected to the key switch, so from yellow, which is hot, 12 volts, through the key switch to blue. Green goes from yellow to the it's supposed to be a momentary switch, but I have it as a maintain switch because that's all I've got. Goes through there to the green over here. Then we have purple is not connected, brown's not connected, red's not connected for the moment. We have black, which is coming from the battery. It's also going to the coils down here, which we're not using right now. And then yellow is power, which is also going to these two switches. And that looks like it's about it. So that's the wiring. We're going to go through a calibration of our module for the accelerator. We're going to turn it to 7. And then we're going to plug her in. So we have a blue and a red. We have a red over here, so I guess I'm going to have to clear some errors. The display of the errors says they're both empty. Clearing the errors, there's no code to clear. Oh, I guess I needed to turn this on. There we go. So now we have our blue LED. So I'm going to cycle this 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got our green. I'm going to set this to the side again. Disconnect power, because I don't like changing anything on electronics when there's power applied. We're going to go back and change it to 6, which is custom. And then we are going to plug her back in. So here we have what looks like a code. 1, 2. So it's giving me an error on the blink codes about the throttle. So if we look here, we see that throttle channel A is 0.3 volts and throttle channel B is 0.2 volts. But for some reason we have an active fault on the throttle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and change the throttle from 0 to approximately 2. 1.5, 1.9. So if you look at the blink codes now, you will see that it is a historical fault for 2, and there is no active codes. If I go into my error management and display the codes, I see a 17. Not a 2, which is what I thought I saw, but a 17. That's just a little strange. So I'm going to clear the error. And I'm going to let go. So now it says that there's still an unresolved code. So it doesn't like the throttle being at 0. Not sure why, but it doesn't. Now if I go through and calibrate this thing again, it'll probably clear. And I'm not sure why exactly. Sometimes it seems to be okay, and sometimes it doesn't. Calibrate it again. And we'll connect it again. We're in blue, and we will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're back to green. We'll disconnect. We will change our switch to 6. Try to get this lined up a little bit better so there's not as much sparking here. So now we are showing ready to go. All I did was recalibrate the accelerator. So now we're going to, well, I should probably disconnect the coils. One moment while I do that. So we're going to go for no load on red and no load on gray. All they are is connected to a couple of binding posts. There we go. So we're in a start position. We got a blinking green. We've got 5 volts on the bus. I'm going to hit, and I get an immediate red. There is no load. You didn't hear a click. The relays didn't pull in, but I've still got a fault code. Now, fault code is a blinking code on there. You'll notice that there's a green on the interface module. It doesn't think that there's anything wrong. Or at least, as far as I understand, it doesn't think there's anything wrong. So displaying the errors gives me a history of 16 and 17, even though there's no load on the outputs. If the voltage went below 11 volts, I guess it's possible. I can't get my scope to trigger when I connect it up to the positive because of the scan rate and the difficulty triggering when you don't know how big the pulse is and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to clear this history, and we're ready to start again. So with the blinking green light. So I will turn my 24 volt power pack on, and I'll just give you a quick pan down. So we have red coming off of here through a contactor. Is that in? No, I can't see that. So we got red and black coming off of the 2 batteries in series. I'll go up a little bit. The red comes in through a gigavac contactor, goes through a manual disconnect switch, and a 300 amp solid state fuse. The red then comes into the positive on the controller. The black comes up here, goes through a gigavac contactor, and into the negative on the controller. So that part of that was on off of your screen. Anyway, so the black coming in through the gigavac in here, the red going through a gigavac, a manual disconnect, the fuse, and going up to the controller. So I'm just going to stop the video because we're up to 8.5 minutes.